Good morning, students. We are discussing the lesson India relief feature. So in the last class we shall discuss about the location of India, the time zone, what is Indian Standard Time, what is Greenwich Mean Time, the geological background of India, what are perennial rivers. So all these we are discussed in the last class. So today we shall discuss about the major relief divisions of India. The India is divided into 5 major relief divisions. The first one is the Himalayas. First one is what? The Himalayas. So the Himalayas are started from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. So the total length of the Himalaya mountain range is 2,400 kilometers. How much? 2,400 kilometers, and the area is 5 lakh square kilometers. The total area is 5 lakh square kilometers. So the Himalaya mountain width is different from one place to another place. So in the Jammu and Kashmir, the width is 500 kilometers. When you come to the middle, the width is 300 kilometers. In some places 200 kilometers, and some places 100 kilometers. And when you come to the Arunachal Pradesh, the width is 90 kilometers. Okay, so this is all about the Himalayas. So once again, the Himalayas are divided into 3 important ranges. First range, second range, third range. Okay, so the first important range is the Greater Himalayas. What? The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, the first important range is the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, the Greater Himalayas are also called the Himadri. Okay, and it is rough surface. The Greater Himalayas are rough surface. Okay, and the Greater Himalayas or Himadri height is 6,100 meters from the mean sea level. The height of the Greater Himalayas is 6,100 meters from the mean sea level. So here this one completely snow bounded and glacier. So due to the snow bounded glaciers, okay, so here we can see the perennial rivers. So here the perennial rivers is nothing but those rivers are flowing throughout the year. So that rivers are called perennial rivers. And here we can see the important peaks, the world famous peaks: K2 mountain peak, Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makkalu, Dhaulagiri. All these important peaks are located in the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, so this is the Greater Himalayas. Okay, and the second one is the Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. The Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. Okay, so this is the second most important range of the Himalayas, that is Lesser Himalayas. The Lesser Himalayas is also called Himachal. Okay, so this is mostly rugged surface. This is mostly rugged surface, and the height is, the Lesser Himalayas height is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. Okay, the height of the Lesser Himalayas or Himachal is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters height from the mean sea level. Okay, so the first one, the Greater Himalayas height is 6,100 meters from the mean sea level. So when you come to the Lesser Himalayas, the height may be differ from 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. So here we can see the important ranges. So the first one is the Pirpanjal range. The first one is the Pirpanjal range, and the second one is Mahabharata range. The first one is Pirpanjal range, and the second one is Mahabharata range. So in this region we can see the valleys, the most important valleys. Okay, so here the most important valleys are Kashmir Valley in the Jammu and Kashmir region, Kangra Valley, Kullu Valley in the Himachal Pradesh region. So here we can see the important hill stations. So here the important hill stations are Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet. So these are the most important hill stations. And the lesser Himalayas is covered by the evergreen forest. Here the forest is evergreen. So why here the forest is evergreen means, I have already told you. So here the perennial rivers are there. So the perennial rivers are flowing throughout the year, and they supply the water throughout the year to this forest. That's why these forests are called evergreen forest. Okay, so this is all about the lesser Himalayas. Okay, so the lesser Himalayas here are also called Himachal. The height of the lesser Himalayas is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters from the mean sea level. Here the two important ranges are there. The first one is Pirpanjal range, and the second one is Mahabharata range. So here we can see the important valleys. Okay, Kashmir Valley in the Jammu and Kashmir region, and Kangra Valley and Kullu Valley in Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Here the important hill stations are there: Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet. And here the entire region is covered by the evergreen forest. So here the supply of water, continuously supply the water to this forest area. Why? Because here we can see the perennial rivers. So here perennial rivers is nothing but those rivers are flowing throughout the year. Okay, this is all about the lesser Himalayas or Himachal. Okay, and the third most important range is Shivaliks. What? The Shivaliks. Or outer Himalayas. Okay, so the third most important range is the Shivaliks or the outer Himalayas. Okay, so the Shivaliks or the outer Himalayas, the height is 900 meters to 1100 meters from the mean sea level. First one is 6,100 meters. Second one is 3,700 to 4,500 meters height from the mean sea level. And the third one is the Shivaliks. Height is 900 meters to 1,100 meters. Okay. So here it has the different names in different regions. Here some important hills are there. That hills are different names in the different regions. So in the Jammu Hills, this is the Jammu region. Mist Hills in the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and Kachar Hills in the Assam region. So these are the hills in the different areas. Okay, so here the valleys are called the dunes. So here some important valleys are there. So the valleys are called dunes. Here the important dunes are Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun. So these are the important hill stations. So all of you know Dehradun is the most important tourist place. There are so many tourists are coming to the Dehradun and enjoy the beauty of the Dehradun. Okay, and lastly, the Himalayas are ends with the Brahmaputra Valley. The Himalayas ends with the Brahmaputra Valley and take the hairpin bend. So this is the hairpin bend. Hairpin bend. Okay, so the Himalayas ends with the Brahmaputra Valley and takes the hairpin bend, and it is the boundaries of the north-eastern countries, that is known as Bhutan, China. So these are the north-eastern part of our country. So this hairpin bend. Okay, so this is the boundary lines to the north-eastern part of our country. So that is Bhutan and China. So whenever it takes the hairpin bend, so here these regions are called Purvanchal region. What? Purvanchal region. So here the Purvanchal region is nothing but the northeastern states. So in the northeastern parts, some states are there. That northeastern states are called Purvanchal regions. Okay. So in the Purvanchal regions also some important hills are there. That hills are named in the local names. Okay. That is Patkai Hills. Okay. Naga Hills, Manipuri Hills, Mizo Hills. So these are the important hills located in the Purvanchal region. Okay. So these are the three important ranges of the Himalayas. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we shall already discussed. First one is what? Himadri. First one is what? Himadri. Second one is Himachal. And the third one is Shivalis. So these are the three important ranges of Himalayas. So here, what are the importance of Himalayas? What are the importance of Himalayas? So because of the Himalayas, okay, we have a good climatic conditions. Because of the Himalayas, we have a good climatic conditions. We have a monsoon type of climate. Okay, so due to the Himalayas, because of the Himalayas, we are getting the southwest monsoon. It first bursts in the Kerala coast and supply the water and supply the rain throughout the country. Okay, and second one is cold winds. So because of Himalayas, it acts like a big wall. So from Central Asia, so in the north part is called Central Asia, the cold winds blocked by the Himalaya mountain range. So the cold winds not enter to the India. Okay, so the Himalaya mountain range block that cold winds. Okay, and the next one is water supply. So I have already told you the Himalayas are covered by the glaciers and snow. So due to the glaciers, snows in the summer season, they are melt and flow the river, and these rivers are called the perennial rivers. So those rivers are flowing throughout the year. The rivers are called perennial rivers, and the water supply throughout the year. And fourth one is desert. If the Himalaya mountain range is not there in the present position, the India would have been turned completely to desert land. Okay, so lastly, the Himalaya mountain range is the God gift to the Indian people. What? The God gift to the Indian people. So because of the Himalayas, okay, we have a good soil, good climatic conditions, okay, good supply of water, okay, and the India make a fertile land because of Himalayas. India make a fertile land, okay. So this is all about the Greater Himalayas, okay. And second one, we have to discuss the Indo-Gangetic Plain. The second major relief divisions of India is the Indo-Gangetic Plain. What? The Indo-Gangetic Plain. So this is the second most important relief divisions of India. Okay. So the Indo-Gangetic Plain was formed near about 200 years ago. 200 years ago. Okay. And this is the source of perennial. So I have already told you what are perennial rivers. Those rivers are flowing throughout the year. That rivers are called perennial river. And this, the Indo-Gangetic Plain was formed near about the 100 years. 200 years. Okay. So here the important rivers are there. Here the three important rivers are there. The first one is the Indus. The first one is what? The Indus. Second one is the Ganga. Second one is the Ganga. And the third one is the Brahmaputra. So these are the three important rivers: the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra. Okay. And once again, the Indo-Gangetic Plain is divided into three parts. How many parts? Three parts. So first one is the western part. Second one is the central part. And the third one is the eastern part. Okay, the Indo-Gangetic Plain. Here the important rivers are the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra. So these rivers are perennial rivers. They flow throughout the here. Here the land is fertile land. Here the land is called fertile land. And again, the Indo-Gangetic Plain is divided into three parts: western part, central part, and the eastern part. Okay. So in the western part, here the regions are covered. That regions are Punjab and Haryana. Punjab and Haryana. Okay. So the Indus River, 80% of the water used by the Pakistan. And 20% we are used. 20% water is used by the India. Why? Because the most of the water flows in the Pakistan region. So that's why the 80% water used by the Pakistan and only 20% water is used by the India only. Okay. So here we can see the fertile lands. I have already told you. Whenever the rivers are flowing, they brought the alluvial soils, okay, and they are deposited in the plain areas. That plain areas are very fertile land. That fertile lands are called Doab region. What? Doab region. So Doab region is nothing but the land between two rivers. The land between two rivers is known as Doab region. Okay. So next one is the Ganga or the central part. So in the central part, two rivers are flowing. First one is Ganga and second one is Yamuna. So here the states are covered: UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. So all these states are covered in the central part. And again, the Yamuna river, some important tributaries, rivers are there. So the tributaries are Son. First one is Son, and another river is, okay. First one is Son, and second one is so the important tributary rivers are Son. Excuse me, students. First one is Son, and second one is Kosi. Okay. So this is all about the central part, and the third part is the eastern part. The third part is the eastern part. So in the eastern part, here only one river is flowing. That river is known as the Brahmaputra river. What? The Brahmaputra river, and this Brahmaputra river flows in the Assam region only. Okay. So whenever the Brahmaputra river flows, okay, so the Brahmaputra river brought the thick alluvium soils. What? The thick alluvium soils and silt, gravel stones. Okay. So whenever they brought the alluvium soil, the newer alluvium soil is known as Bangar, and the older alluvium soil is known as, the newer alluvium soil is Babar, and the older alluvium soil is known as Bangar. And they flow through the underground water. So whenever they flow through the underground water, that region is known as Terai region. That region is known as what? Terai region. So the Terai is nothing but the swampy and marshy tract. The Terai is nothing but the swampy and marshy tract. So this is all about the Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay. So in the next class, we have to discuss the remaining relief features. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.